tell you all about a service that's helping seniors stay independent. And Joan Turner is the owner and president of At Your Service for Seniors, Inc. Welcome to the show.
Thanks very much.
So for those who may not be aware, tell us what At Your Service for Seniors is all about.
Well, it's an organization that has come together to provide whatever service it is that seniors' arms, legs, eyes, ears, sometimes nose, no longer provide for them, so that they can stay and they can maintain a life that they used to maintain. So for example, if someone has arthritis and isn't able to go off to the grocery store and get their groceries anymore, but they really know exactly what they want, we can help them with that, because we can either take them and push them in a wheelchair, or we can just go and get their groceries without them, whatever they like.
Are you in London, or are you
Yes.
in London?
We're in London, yes.
My dad lives in Hamilton, and he's a senior, and he has some people who live around him. But anyway, those services are invaluable. Like someone can go
Yes.
get his groceries, somebody
Yes.
can go get his prescription, and it's very fair as far as the cost goes. We're not talking about cost right now, but it's a nice service for him to have.
Oh yes, well it's extraordinary, and actually I know that surveys have found that upwards of 2/3 of the people that are on waiting lists for long-term care homes are there because they can't do the simple things like the cooking and the cleaning and the shopping, which are, in the scheme of things, dead easy. And if we can take care of that and keep them in their home and keep them happy, you're almost all the way there. That's great.
And keep life normal for them, right? I mean,
Yes.
at the drop of a hat, anything can happen as a senior.
Sure.
So to maintain that normalcy, I would think is really important for their
Yes.
mind as well.
And keep them in control. They have worked hard all their lives, and especially actually this generation that have been through the Depression, and they've been through a lot. And now they're finally able to sit back and enjoy life a little bit. So let's let them keep doing that, and they can keep the reins, and they can say when I'd like to go out, when I'd like to stay home, and what I'd like to have for dinner, and when I want to eat it.
Tell about all the services that you offer. Do you offer, transportation?
Yes.
What do you offer?
Well, everything actually, from almost A to Z, in terms of anything that's not needs to be licensed, with the exception of driving, and needs to be certified. So everything from cooking and cleaning to sewing to helping on the computer to going in and searching in the city to see what services, a lady, for example, who needed a certain size of cotton undergarments, and they were very difficult to find, but we found them for her. We also can do things like helping them to have a small dinner party or something like that, because sometimes entertaining your friends becomes really difficult as you get older, and if we can lend a hand even in the background to help the person to be able to do that, that's huge.
What about pets?
We can take the pets off to walking them, dogs or cats, take them to the vet. We can, if they happen to find themselves in hospital or something like that, or even just gone away for a couple of days, we could come in as well and to feed them or walk them or anything they'd like. We also could look after plants. We have lots of folks who get to enjoy the gardens that they had when they were younger on their patio or their balcony, because we help them bring in things like that, flowers, etc.
Who are some of the people doing these services, your staff? Tell us about them.
Well, they're not staff, they're folks that work together with me, and I find that's really important because, of course, the most important person in this is the client, is the senior, but the next most important is the person providing the service. And those folks come from all different walks of life. We have included in that, I have a gal who is a full-time RN for many years at the hospital. We have a person who used to run a flower shop. We have a person who used to be a manager in the hospital. We've got another fellow who is a retired RCMP officer. We've got a retired teacher, semi-retired music teacher. So, lots of different folks from all different fields. But the really common element is that they all relate to folks, and they really, really do well and strive at getting that communication and understanding and empathizing with what the person really wants to make them happy.
So somebody can call you, and then you just find out what fits their needs the best,
Absolutely,
right?
in terms of what services they need and what kind of person they need.
Okay, and the number for Joan is 519-872-0875 or at yourserviceforseniors.ca.
Just before we go, how did you get into this? What made you decide to have a business that helps seniors?
Well, I've always enjoyed seniors, but I had the opportunity to give up my many years of administrative work at London Health Sciences Centre, and I thought, what is it that I do besides all this administrative stuff? I thought, I know what I do. I do people. And if I can help someone in my non-professional status, let's see what I can do. And it's great. It's so gratifying and it's so wonderful. And you know, it's amazing to watch the difference to people.
How many clients do you have? Do you have a ballpark of how
We
many
have
people you see?
roughly about 60 clients at present, and the numbers keep on growing. Some folks are with us for a very short duration, for a limited time, and others have been with us for more than 3 years. So huge difference in that. And some we just go to see once a month, and some it's several times a week. So whatever they'd like.
Year round, 365 days a
Any
year?
old time they'd like. Absolutely. Yes.
Well, listen, Joan, thank you so much for being with us
You're
today.
very welcome. Thank you for having me.
Boy, that might have piqued your interest. You hear that? Maybe you're watching at home and you're thinking, I could use a little help. I could use someone maybe to pick up some groceries for me, or you know, just kind of help me out a little bit. So, Joan's phone number 519-872-0875 or atyourserviceforseniors.ca.
I think we should have an extension to this business, at your service for single moms.ca.
Hey, talk to
Serious.
Joan.